whole glob of clouds is coming our way, so we think we'll see a few of them in here over the weekend, but we don't at this time expect significant intensification there. Okay, here's the...
We're going to go back 3 days in time, and you'll see the formation of a hurricane. Here it is down here. This was a couple days ago now. Watch as it begins to spin and turn around. There you can see some big convection. There's a tropical storm. Now watch. All of a sudden it takes off to the north. There it goes, rather quickly, caught up in the currents. And the last picture shows it right there on the tip of Louisiana moving to the north. All right, I'll show you another satellite picture, and this one is going to show you not only is a tropical depression, rather strong one, right now over the Windward Islands. We're going to zoom in on it now and show you a close-up loop and then put it into motion. This is the thing we're worried about here. This is now over the islands south of Dominica. It rained to beat the ban on St. Thomas. One report that the airport was closed for a while on St. Thomas. We're going to color the image for you. Remember, the reds are the deepest convection layers and where it's raining the hardest, and this whole area just turned red for a while today, and it's moving in our general direction, actually moving off to the west, but we'll watch that.
Put this into motion. We can see how...
I'll step out of the way and just give you some incidental information with this very strong tropical storm. The Dominican Republic government has now issued a tropical storm warning for the south coast and a hurricane watch for the Barahona Peninsula. That's the southernmost part of the Dominican Republic that kind of sticks to the south. That'll be right on in through here. There's
Gilbert, which is packing winds now of at least 70 miles per hour. Notice the spiraling motion here. We're getting winds coming in on the south side of the tropical storm, well in excess of 20 and 30 miles per hour over northern South America, which indicates there certainly is a closed-off circulation. And also, the reconnaissance flight that just went in says they have found an eye wall, which would indicate a hurricane with a surface pressure, as we'll show you in just a moment, down to 984 millibars. Take a look at this. Very impressive. Now, if the track goes as we see it now, bring heavy rains to Puerto Rico, it'll just glance and take a blow to the southern sections of Dominican Republic, just to the south of Cuba. But if it takes this track the way it's going right now, it may head right over the top of Jamaica. So we want you to know that. We want you to keep posted.
It's located to the south now of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. As the storm continues to push westward through the Caribbean here, Jamaica and the Cayman Islands come in its path, so interests around here should be on the alert. Also, for the south side of Hispaniola, it is going to be a rough day today. The storm overnight did move just about due west, so Puerto Rico was spared the worst of the storm. The worst stayed over the open waters of the Caribbean, but around Puerto Rico last night, it was a bit squally as the winds were gusting to 40 and 50 miles an hour at times. As we checked at about 15, so it looks like the south coast of Hispaniola will be under the gun today.
Almost a good half of the Caribbean Sea. Let's put it into motion. You can see as time goes on, it's over about 4 to 8 hours now. You see the circulation around it, and the feeder bands very far to the north, all the way across around Cape Haitian in Haiti, and just brushing the coast of South America, back to the west, to the south of Puerto Rico, and moving into the east. Now, high cirrus clouds already covering over Jamaica, and even getting...
There is, of course, the long...
At our own local, very, very impressive looking. At least for the time being, it seems to have reached a plateau in increase in speed. It's been 100 miles per hour now for about half the day. It was increasing in speed dramatically until about noontime, but now it's holding steady at 100. The eye, which was very well defined yesterday, is not so apparent there today, as you can see. Let's go with our maps now and find out more. First of all, we have our color enhancement of the same picture that we were looking at. The higher cloud tops are being colored in the darker shades of green, and oh my goodness, look at the heavy rain curled up on itself out here, fortunately over the Caribbean Sea and not up over either Hispaniola out here. This is Hispaniola right here with the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and look at this core of bright white clouds indicating the heaviest rain right there. Look how tightly wrapped it is. There's the eye of the storm, which had disappeared earlier today, but now it's back. And look at it go across Santo Domingo right there, boom. And there's Port-au-Prince and Haiti right there, watch it. And boom, so they got nailed tonight. Now, Jamaica's in the firing line. The thing is moving west at 15. It's about 300 miles away from Jamaica. It'll be about midday tomorrow before it starts to hit Jamaica. Look at the spiral bands now extending into the out islands of the Bahamas, and they're starting to get some showers and some gusty winds, and we'll be in these spiral bands tomorrow. All right, let's take a look now at our static shot of the same picture here. We'll put some of the cities on for you to give you a better idea of where it is in relation to us. We're up here in South Florida. Fortunately, we've got the big islands of the Caribbean between us and the hurricane.
See its history. Very bright and colorful tops enhanced by the infrared photography indicate very high clouds and strong rain and thunderstorms twirling around counterclockwise as this moves almost due west, just a little north of due west, marching across the Caribbean. Let's take a look at some positions right now. And the path.
Rains now pushing into Jamaica. As we put the clouds into motion for you, you can see the past movement of the storm moving just about due west towards Jamaica. And the latest reports from the area showing the winds increasing at Kingston and around Guantanamo. The winds are out of the northeast, gusting to 45 miles an hour, moderate rains there, and the winds picking up now from the north and northwest around Kingston. Winds gusting up to 40 miles an hour as of last report. I'm sure the winds are much stronger now. We have had reports of winds over 100.
Kind of paradox where the weather just completely calms down as the eye moves across the island and then instantly picks back up with the equal amount of force as the backside of the storm moves on through. Very impressive, and here come the feeder bands. We'll be feeling some of those by late this afternoon in a mild way. All right, here's our color enhancement of the system now, and as you can see, we're coloring in the higher cloud tops in the various shades of green, indicating where the most rain is.
From Miami, but the entire storm takes in about 500 miles or more. Consequently, for tonight, you're going to have to look for an increase in cloudiness with some showers and thunderstorms also tomorrow. And the fact there's high pressure to the north and this low pressure to the south, that's going to increase the gradient over South Florida. Look for 30-mile-per-hour winds at least. It'll be gustier than that at times. And when I say it increases the pressure gradient, just think about pushing 50 tons of water through a small hose, just comes shooting out, and that's what happens. Now, as far as the future of the storm is concerned, right now, the winds are 115 miles per hour. It has increased somewhat, but probably will not increase over the next 12 hours or so because it is now hitting the landmass. The high pressure to the north seems to have suppressed it to the south. As it gets a little more to the west, then it'll be on the backside of that circulation. That, along with the fact there's a possibility of a weakness developing here. Now, if that weakness develops, the storm will continue to move towards the west-northwest and then begin to take a turn somewhat to the north. Now, I would say at this point, anyone from about Tampa to Texas should not be too complacent. Anywhere through that area is a possibility at this time. So again, let me point out deteriorating weather conditions over South Florida. There still remains a danger from Tampa to Texas, and anywhere through that area, everyone hopefully will be keeping their eye on the eye. For the time being, there are hurricane warnings out now for sections of Camagüey and Cienfuegos, Haiti, the Cayman Islands, and all through those areas.
Sustained winds of 115 miles an hour with gusts up to 140 miles an hour. We understand there are very widespread power outages. A pretty big storm surge came in when the eye came ashore.
The Dominican Republic is outlined, the blue sky showing right through the thing, the clouds surrounding it. Now this is just after dawn, and then as we go on in time, the sun begins to get a little bit brighter and washes out some of the detail. This is Jamaica here. There's Cuba up to the top. Of course, Florida's off the top of the screen. Right there is probably the worst hit area as the storm was coming around. The wind's coming around this way in the storm, so the winds are coming this way, and addition to the forward speed adds another 15 miles an hour to the storm strength. So that was about 140 mile an hour wind that hit up there. And now as you can see, as we go into the last picture here, and we run the loop, how the eye just is kind of covered up as it goes right over the middle of the island here. And but I'm sure it's going to reappear as it comes out. Now the next island that will be affected, of course, is the Cayman Islands, which are up here. And if you look at the path here, it's going right directly toward the Cayman Islands. So it looks like it'll hit there sometime tonight. During the nighttime hours. As far as we're concerned here in Florida, we don't have much to worry about.
A very, very symmetrical hurricane. That's an indication that the system is working at high efficiency. That's an indication that it could very well intensify beyond the 115 mile an hour winds that are there right now. Okay, here's what I'd like to do. I'm going to stop at one time right now, and let's go ahead and take it close up on your home TV screen and watch as I go through picture by picture. I want you to watch the eye. It's very clear there. Now you'll notice it's going to take a jog to the north here. Watch right in here. See it kind of turn to the north? Now watch, it's going to jog back down to the south. It's very common of a strong hurricane. There it goes to the south. See that? It just went to the south under the southern or the eastern tip of Jamaica and headed right for Kingston. Right there, the eye is directly over the city of Kingston. Now as it moves into the country, you see we can't see the eye very clearly anymore. That's because in Jamaica there's a mountain there called Blue Mountain Peak, and has a 7,400-foot peak. And so that circulation gets kind of tied up in there, and and it disrupts the wind flow.
With the eye opening.